Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan. And today we bring you some live pre-match build-up as Tottenham open the season and hopefully look to turn the Saints into sinners. It is a glorious day. It's been a long time coming. And this time I think we're going into the season with a hell of a lot more optimism. And I, for one, cannot wait. To kick us off this season, we are, of course, joined by Jack from the Flat Cap, also co-host here. We are also joined by Mr. Daigle from Tottenham on Tour / We Are Tottenham TV. And we are also joined by the one and the only, the Godfather, Mr. Brady, who has such an iconic jersey on him. Jack, how are you keeping, my man?
Lots of optimism, like you said, going into the season, Dave, and also combined with that, lots of expectations, because Spurs fans are not only optimistic, but we actually are probably not kidding ourselves this time, by actually expecting things to come through. Usually Spurs fans, we like to think, oh, maybe we can nick, a trophy this season. Maybe we have a chance at, taking the Carabao, from under people's noses. This season, we actually expect to be taking one of those trophies, with us home this season, Dave. So it's a whole different feeling as a Spurs fan.
I love that, Jack. We expect for sure. Diego, how are you keeping, man? I would go to Philip first. You can get your.
No, it's good. It's good. I just had yeah, mate. What can I say? It's 20-7 here in the morning for me and Jack. I've been up since 3 a.m. It's the opening game of the season. I couldn't care what time I woke up. I couldn't care how tired I am. That's why caffeine was invented. I may be popping up and popping myself up a few times during this. But listen, this is the day we all wait for. I cannot wait to get down to Scotland Yard. It is going to be absolutely heaving down there today, and football is back, and that's all that matters. It's back.
Yeah, exactly. Just seeing the team walk out in the fresh, crisp, clean white jerseys, the smell of the grass, it's going to be an unbelievable day. The Godfather, how are you keeping, my man?
Yeah, I'm great. I mean, this is the day we've been waiting for since about 4:45 on the 22nd of May, when we finalised that Champions League spot. And this is the year of destiny. This is the year we're going to do something. This is the year Spurs are back. And I think if you cast your mind back to this day last year, we're just had Nuno appointed as manager. We were playing Man City first game at home. I don't think the optimism was quite as high as it is now. I don't think I've ever seen such optimism in Spurs fans at the moment. So bring it on. Bring it on.
I absolutely love them words. And guys, of course, your boy David is back after a month of hell, really. Kidney stones. Then, a little war with my neighbor downstairs. If he cuts my internet today, I'm going to give him a stone cold stunner. He won't be doing it again. And I've now come down with a bit of COVID as well. So I'm not feeling great today.
Trifecta.
But I am here. I am here. That's dedication to match day. Take a few.
Well, David, what I can say is, thank God they say things come in threes, and it looks like you're done.
He's struck. So luckily he's got a new count now.
You know what? Bobby K said that to me yesterday. Bobby K rang me to see how I was, and he said that to me yesterday. Look, kidney stones and whatever I have now, okay. But my neighbor, he's in for it if he pisses me off this week. I'm telling you that now.
That's
anyway,
within your control.
Honestly, the place will be turned into a scene from Home Alone, my man. I'm not messing. Shamu Van Spurs says, "Come on, you Spurs! Can't wait to see the debut Perisic goal. If it isn't today, I want a Cutie Romero header." Absolutely love that. Big up, Shamu. Robbie Keane says, in the opening match, I hugely expect Spurs to win, let alone in our stadium. 1-0 or 2-0 would be enough. Southampton are quite a tough opponent. Yeah, look, we struggled against them last season, only picking up 1 point across the 2 games. What I will say is we didn't have our strongest team out in either game either, so hopefully today it'll be a bit of a different story. Dark Song G, my brother, good to see you in. It's not the start of the season without you, my man. And he says, we will beat Southampton because no more weeks. Also, the Gooners were lucky they won. Their bench looks awful weak compared to ours, which is strong now. I mean, Jack, you've done a bit of digging into Southampton for today's game, as people can see with your predicted lineup and stats. So, Jack, what would you say to Dark Sun G here?
I think I have to quickly say to him, and, I always say this to Dark Sun G, but, there are 3 games that have something in common, Dave. That Wolves, kind of result, that Burnley result, and then that Southampton result. There's a certain particular player that Dark Sun G mentioned there that I believe started in the midfield for all of those games. And those happen to be some of the most atrocious results from our campaign last season. The Gooners were very lucky. They won Dark Sun G. They looked really good in the first 20 minutes. It probably, I bet the Lego man just drew something really nice picture on that little whiteboard that he had, probably a few nice smiley faces, maybe them like dancing through the trees and whatnot. And then they got motivated, but they actually were getting a bit rattled towards the end there. And then the bench looks awfully weak compared to which ours is very, very strong. Absolutely, Dark Sun G. But yeah, I'm actually expecting them to kind of roll with a bit of a different formation this time, my man. So it is going to be some different Hasenhüttl tactics we're coming up against.
It is, but what I will say is hopefully the press switch plays into our hand. That would be absolutely lovely. Big up Dark Sun G, brother. Great to see you in, and I hope you're excited for the season. Look, that's actually a stupid question. I know you are. Big up the regular says it's good to be back at the stadium. Big up the regular, my man. He says
He's
I'm very
celebrating
excited
10 months
today.
as well, Dave. Celebrating 10 months, saying, "Come on, you Spurs." Big up the regular, absolute legend.
Big up the regular. Big yourself up, my man. And look, go and enjoy yourself if you're heading back to the stadium today. Make sure you do us proud here at the Irish Hotspur. Make sure you sing the names and the club nice and loud. Absolutely. Big up the regular. Great to see you in. Dark Sun G also says Blues are panic buying, in my opinion, overpaid for Cucurella. Yeah, look, I think they massively overpaid for Cucurella. There's a reason why City took a back step. They weren't going to be extorted. Look, I think Chelsea are panic buying, but that's purely because your man sacked the whole team that was there under Abramovich. Your one Maria was absolutely crucial. It was like, go and get me a player, and she got the deal done. This guy thinks he's playing football manager, thinks he can come in and do it all himself, and it's backfiring. But you know what, Dark Sun G? I'm absolutely buzzing. Them mugs have had it too good for too long now, and now it's our time to be the pride of London. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Dark Sun G. Slim Boy Tubbs, morning one and all. Big yourself up. Welsh Girl says, big up, lads. The sun is shining, and we are kicking off the Premier League season 22-23. Let's get a statement win and clean sheet would be nice. Come on, you Spurs, and hashtag Irish Army. Big up, Welsh Girl. I hope you would get excited for today's game. Big yourself up. And we've got THFC Till I Die. Big up, Dermot, my man. I really appreciate the support. He says, the spirit of Bill Nick once again flows through the club again. We can dream again. We have rose from the fire of our glorious past. We can match the Super Spurs teams of the past, and we will win something this season. Come on, you Spurs. I mean, Philip, what would you say to Dermot Super Chat here? Big Bill Nick supporter, just like yourself.
Yeah, I'll tell you that's a real rallying cry from Dermot. I think he's saying what we're all thinking here. I mean, I do think we've got the best manager we've had since Bill Nick at the moment, and we're going to dream. We're going to say like a phoenix rising from the ashes. We're going to be the team, the best team in London this season. I take what you're saying about Chelsea. I think they have been panic buying, and Abramovich isn't there now to write the checks for any amount that they think of. And I think this new boy is trying to emulate Abramovich without half the skill or the experience that Abramovich had. So let's hope Chelsea are going to have a poor season, and we will win something this season. I have no doubt, and maybe more than one. Really disappointing if it's only one, but I'll take two.
It's 11:45, Philip. It's illegal to get people this excited before noon, my man. Big up, Dermot. Absolutely. Dermotron and Philip tag teaming on that. Absolutely love it. Big up, Dermot, brother. Really appreciate the support. We'll take a few more and then we will start cracking into it. Foggy Foam, big yourself up. Slim Boy Tubbs, Mick Hermelot, Wembley 1. Big yourself up. Says, good morning, guys. Here we go. Taking today's game in isolation. I just fear that not having Richarlison available limits our attacking options against a team who will undoubtedly make it hard for us. Look, there is that fear, but today is the perfect test for that, my man. It's at the end of the day, we're going to come up against it a lot this season. So today, no better way to start and put our wrongs from last season right. Paul Beatty, big yourself up. Paul Beatty or Paul Batty, my man? I know there's a lot of Batties from around where I live. Let me know if that is the right way to pronounce it. But big yourself up. Tune all the way in from Oz, my man. Big yourself up. Dark Sun G says it's nice to see White instead of Winks in the training video. Brian, I'll let you take this before I get triggered.
Listen, it's lovely to see anyone. But listen, Harry Winks, I still can't believe he hasn't given Bissouma his number 8 shirt. He clearly has no future at the club. And he's not going to be playing. And from what I've been hearing and I've heard, he's not even training with the first team squad. He's training with the under-23s. That's what Harry Winks is doing at the moment because this is what Conte's doing. If you've got no part in his plans, you're training there. I need to focus everything here. So it is wonderful to see Alfie White and hopefully he will have a big part to play this season. He's got a lot of potential. We saw in pre-season, so it's nice to see a new one of our own being showcased as opposed to one that is one of our own but needs to see his way out of being one of our own and piss off to wherever they'll take him.
Yeah, look, the little twerp just needs to give up the number. He's never been good enough for Tottenham. He won't be good enough for where we're going. Give up the number. Stop hanging on to your Tottenham career by all means necessary. At the end of the day, you've had plenty of chances, and you can make all the excuses you want, injuries, etc., etc. Could not give a crap. You're not good enough. Hand that number over, right? Because if you were, we wouldn't have had spent the money on Bazuma. So it's that simple. Big up, Dark Son G, brother. Really appreciate the support. Take a few more names, and then we will kick into it. Wayne Bonner, big yourself up, my man. It's good to see you back. Hopefully you are excited, Wayne. Great to see you. Tyrone Jackson, big yourself up, says, come on, you Spurs, the hottest Spur. Big up, my man.
David, I'll just top up my coffee and I'll be back and give you like 3-4 minutes, all right?
No worries. Go and get it into you, my man. It's needed. You've been up early today. A big up, Derek Hutchinson as well. Davison, the defender. Big yourself up. Sandile, Butalese, absolutely love that last name. Big yourself up. ATX7 Gaming, big up, David, ATX. Jack, Brian, and Phil. New season, positivity all around. Let's get those 3 points. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, my man, Joe or Jay Cole. Big yourself up, my man. I hope you're keeping well. Good to see you in. Rex, my man, big yourself up. By the way, I sent you an email. I need you to email me back. It's about getting your code with your number to get into the group chat, my man. Big yourself up, brother. Big up, Paul as well. Great to see you in the building. Adam, R Green 216. Great to see you, my man. Lovely badge beside your name, just like Carl Higgins. Good to see you, my man, and the hottest Spur. Loving them badges beside people's names. Big up, Rifled as well. Dark Song G also says 1 year ago we are singing "Are You Watching Harry Kane?" Yeah, look, and this season we'll be singing "He's One of Our Own" from start to finish because this boy is absolutely ready. But Dark Song G, we will touch on Harry Kane towards the end of the show and a bit on Sonny as well. But believe me, Big H is ready to get going, my man. Big yourself up.
Great comment, Dark Sunday. Totally forgot about that. That actually just completely went out of my mind that we did that at one stage. Big up, Dark Sunday.
Well, everyone else did. I didn't. I'm a big fan of Harry. I'd never do that. I'd never do that to my idol ever. I remember last season I took absolute pelters for about 3 weeks on every single show about my defense of Harry Kane. But turns out it was justified. I would take this one from Adrian Chi and then one from Ribsy and Jerome, and then we will really get into it. Adrian Chi says, big up, lads. Dinner now. Will join in on the watch along. Well, my man.
Big up, Adrian. Fuel up for the day, my man. Fuel up for it. Brian's getting the coffee. Brian's getting the coffee. Get, maybe a McMuffin in. If you need to take a, quick trip to the deli, do what you need, Adrian. Do what you need, brother. Get the fuel in.
What you having for dinner, though, my man? Let me know. And look, we'll see you on the watch along. Big yourself up, Adrian.
Dinner, that's right.
Huh?
Yeah, sorry. I thought it was breakfast. I totally forgot, Adrian. He's getting the dinner. Get a big steak into you before the game, my man. Get a big steak into you. Celebrate.
Got to pre-match meal. Eat like a champion. You got to eat like one to see it, my man. Big boss man, my internet is repaired, lad. And Ribsy85 at cost as well, by the way. It's only the first day of the bloody season, lads. Come on, you Spurs. I mean, Philip, what does the first day of the season always represent to you?
Oh, expectation, hope. Usually a lot of anxiety, but not this season. For some reason, I wonder why. Yeah, it's you forget the sins of the past usually and hope for a clean slate. And the players that we were probably slagging off at the end of the last season are going to do the job for us this season. So there's an awful lot of things on the plate. I mean, the fact that this game sold out so quickly shows the expectation the Spurs fans have this season. It's really, I've never seen a demand for tickets like it. And it augurs well for the season that's coming. You can be sure Conte's got these boys whipped up and ready to go this afternoon. I would be very surprised now if we have a slow start. I think we're going to come out of the blocks pretty quick today and make a statement, get a result, and then move on to Chelsea next week. And that's really going to be the tester.
Yeah. Yeah, look, we beat Chelsea. I think we're in for a serious season. I think win today, beat Chelsea away, get that hoodoo off our back. And, hopefully be up and around the top 2, top 3 come the World Cup. It'll be an amazing start to the season. But big up, Ribsy. Hopefully we're getting you excited. And hopefully Philip's answer got you excited. First day of the season, it is bloody exciting. Renewed optimism. renewed passion. It is chaos. It is chaos.
I think it's like the Hunger
definitely
Games,
exciting.
Dave, where like all these, like the buzzer sounds and all these teams go bursting out in all these directions. You see Chelsea, they get, they die immediately in the first game. Everybody's talking about them on Talk Sport, the following weekend. It really is like people start off with a bang, like Arsenal. They think they already won, the Champions League. You have teams like Crystal Palace who have only been like training together for a week. They might think, oh, the Premier League came too quickly. I don't know. It's chaos the first day. I kind of love, the first weekend. It's chaos.
I can't wait either. Big up Ribsy85, my man. Really do appreciate the support, brother. Top man. Well, everybody, we are going to kick it off now and really get into things. So everybody, please, if you haven't already, smash that like. It's a huge help with the YouTube algorithm, pushes our content out to more and more Spurs fans. So more Spurs fans can enjoy it just like you are. Also, well, actually, it's on subscribers only mode just to treat all you guys out there today. So there will be no Gooners coming in or Chelsea fans coming in. But if there is any new subscribers to the channel, welcome. And guys, feel free to get your super chat in to show your support for the channel, but also to get a good discussion off the panel. But most importantly, guys, it skips the queue. It highlights your comment and we will get to it. But as always, you know the deal, guys. Keep getting your opinions in the comments and we will bring them up as we go along. Now, guys, as we all know, we are at home today at the magnificent Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Of course, on the official Twitter page yesterday, they put up a lovely picture in the sunshine. It's ready and waiting for us. Kickoff today is at 3 p.m. Getting back to the usual time kickoffs, unlike we're at last season, kind of all over the shop. Referee today, if anything goes wrong, make sure you get your pens ready. Write this name down, Andre Mariner. If he fucks me off, or like they give away, take Harry Kane's goal from him like they did last season against Southampton, you might just see your boy in London outside Mariner's house. Also, you've got in the VAR room, it is Paul Tierney. Again, another name you guys need to take down if things go wrong or decisions go against us, as a lot of them did last season. So make sure you take them down. Of course, everybody, the game is not live in the UK whatsoever, which is a crime, to be honest with you, especially when you've got Harry Kane, like the last two Golden Boot winners in your team, and Antonio Conte as manager. I mean, it's a bit of a crime, but guys, in the USA, you can catch it on Peacock. And then in Canada, I presume, David, it's usually the same, DAZN.
Well, no, look, just for people in Canada, it's actually changed. DAZN have now only got the Champions League. So on Canada now, it's only the Premier League is only available on a subscription service called Fubo. Big up, Big Boss Man. Big up, my man. I hope you're good.
Isn't it great, first of all, the way you and Big Boss Man can be friends now?
Do you know what? Me and him, obviously people know we had our beef, but literally we sat down after one of your streams, I think it was, and we literally had a private message on Twitter and we cleared everything out. I was like, listen, and you know what? I speak to him very, very often. But mate, we always have a good laugh and talk, and he's a top man. Top man. So like I said, going back to Canada, it's now something called Fubo, which is FUBO. So that's where, but they've been very clever because the Champions League is still on DAZN. So you need to keep your DAZN subscription for the Champions League, but then you need a Premier League subscription. But just before we go on, I just want to kind of take 2-3 minutes now. It's going around now. I've had it linked now. Obviously today it's opening day of the season. It's a very, very big game. Southampton. It's Bob's, as in Bob's first game back since obviously we all know what happened. What they're trying to do now is, I'll tell you into a little secret. The last time we played Southampton, we lost 3-2 to them in this fixture. That was the day where Kim and I found out, and I don't know if a lot of people knew this because we were keeping things very quiet when I was doing my updates. That was a day where we got told that his COVID may have been back, and they said they were trying to bring him round, and there was a lack of oxygen going to his brain, and they were very, very, very concerned that he was not going to. So for him to be back full circle today is a big thing. Now, what they're trying to do, which is what we tried to do when he was in the coma, is because of his first game back, is obviously, Bob's prediction is always 4-1. So we're trying to get around the YouTube community. Anyone going to that game, we're going to try and get a clap for Bob in the 41st minute. So if you're going to the game, or people going to the game, put on your social medias or whatever. So it doesn't matter if it's 20 people or 2,000 people or even more. It's going to be a very emotional day today for Bob, obviously. If anyone is going there and can give him a a clap for Bob at the 41st minute, then that'll be brilliant. And that's sorry, I didn't mean to take all of that time. There you go.
No.
Over to you, brother.
The regular, I know you're going, my man. So make sure you stand up and clap, buddy. Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, Bob, if you are watching, I don't know, you're probably not. You're probably traveling to the game, a long travel to do. But hopefully you enjoy yourself and have a good day, my man. Big yourself up. Absolutely brilliant. It's great to see Bob back there. Of course, guys, the injury news for today. Richarlison, of course, is suspended. He's presumed, we're not sure whether he will actually feature or not, but he should make the bench despite an injury concern. Oliver Skip, of course, is out again. We'll be touching a little bit on that, out with his foot, and Japhet Tanganga, hairline fracture in his heel it was with Skip. And Tanganga, I presume I think they're making a late call on it today, out with illness. Be interested to see whether he makes it or not. And Southampton, of course, are missing Livermento, who was brilliant last season for them at times. Nathan Tella and Theo Walcott as well, even though that's not much of a miss. You'll probably see him on that All or Nothing next week or something, doing something stupid anyway. By the way, that's an absolute joke. Mikel Arteta is a laughing stock, but we'll keep that for another day. We'll start with you, the Godfather. Tottenham have won their first Premier League match in 6 of their last 9 seasons. How excited are you to get this season underway?
Yeah, no, I mean, this is the season. We've been all hoping for this day to come around for a number of months now. You mentioned we won 6 out of the 9. I think up to last season, or maybe the season before, 6 or 7 of those matches were away from home. We went 6 or 7 seasons playing the first match away from home. So our record is pretty good on the first day of the season. And today now, okay, Southampton gave us trouble last season. I think it was a game we were winning 2-1 and ended up losing 3-2. Again, we didn't have our strongest team out, and we did have a certain number 8 playing, which didn't help. So, I mean, I said the anticipation going down the high road today is just going to be something else. I know it's there for every game. We've seen it ourselves numerous times, going down it. But I think today now there was an absolute genuine feeling that this is the year Spurs are going to do something. Starting today, we've got to make a statement today. Go out there and put a very well-organized Southampton team to bed and put them to bed early. No 91st minute winners. We want to be winning 2-0 by half time and go on from there. So I'm hopeful that's what's going to happen. If we can continue the good form we showed at the end of last season, bring it into this season. And the sky is the limit.
Absolutely. And I love the way you brought in the atmosphere going down the high road. I mean, it's going to be absolutely electric today. Electric. I cannot wait. Daigle, today's game will be the 4th occasion Tottenham Hotspur will open a league campaign against Southampton, winning 2 and drawing 1. Of course, I think losing 1. What are your thoughts going into today's game, my man?
Mate, for me to say, I don't think I've ever been so. The only time I think I've been this excited for an opening day was that first home game with my season ticket when I got my first season ticket in 1995. And you're walking through the doors. It's like, oh my God, I was only like 17 at the time. And it was like, oh my God, I'm going for a foot. Like without my dad, is with my mates. Oh, wicked. I'm going into this game and this season so pumped, so excited. The expectations, like Philip was just saying, they are just, let's try and get for top 4. It's like, let's get top 4 sorted and try and see if we can get higher, not go just for 4th. We're going higher. And just end this cup. And that's what we go into every season thinking. But when you've got Antonio Conte on that dugout doing his normal stuff, and like I said, when you go, he doesn't know what that technical area is. I think he thinks there's been a dead square or rectangle and the police still haven't taken the mask off because he just walked all around it. He doesn't want to step in that square. So he just doesn't. Only time he walks through it is when he's running to celebrate a goal. He has no idea what that square's for. But when you've got him on the sideline, when you've got the players, all right, we might not see all of them today, and you might not agree that they're all the players that we wanted, but he's obviously wanted them. And we go into this season, Champions League, new stadium, new estate, the training ground, the managers there. We've got players in now. You can hear it even in the pundits. I mean, I don't know if people saw Graham Souness yesterday going, whilst Conte's there, Spurs is done. It's not even a word anymore. And this is like Graham Souness. There are people genuinely saying, okay, they mean business. They mean business. And as long as Antonio Conte's there, all we will do is improve, because that's all he does. He improves. So whilst he's there and going into this opening day, how can you be anything less than absolutely pumped and jacked up, ready to go into this game and season?
I'll be honest. If you're not excited for today or pumped up, there's something wrong with you. Honestly, there's something deep down wrong with you if you can't be pumped up for first game of the season. Absolutely love that, Dig. I want to say hi to a few more people, and we'll get Jacko in. DMT, my man. Enjoy going to the game and do us proud, brother. Do us proud. Same as on your bike, Scott, as well, my man. Enjoy the game, and hopefully you can do us proud alongside DMT. You guys should meet up for a pint sometime. You on your bike, Scott, and DMT 85. Absolutely love that. Big yourselves up, boys, representing. Big up Amir Sardar as well. Great to see you. Ellie Yates, good to see you, and I hope you're recovering as well. Great to have you in the building. Big yourself up. And Benedict Hampus as well. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Such a great name. That is such a great name.
Yeah, it is. It is. I said, do you know, I had the same reaction when I first seen his name as well, Diego. Same
like Bentoncourt. It's like Rodrigo Bentoncourt. It's like the English version of that name, I would say, Benedict Hampus.
I love it. Joseph says, if we paid 62 million for Cucurella and Chelsea got Perisic, many in our fan base would be losing it. So let's praise the club on this one, Dave. We definitely got the better and proven player. Let's go. Big up. Come on, you Spurs. I mean, Jack, what's your thoughts on Joseph here? He's probably right, you know.
He is probably right.
I love being unhappy.
I mean, they definitely exceptionally overpaid for Cucurella. I really like Cucurella, to be honest. I think he is a really, really good player. And when it comes to Chelsea overspending, you know, it's kind of disappointing to see that they're still able to overspend, you know, Joseph. You know, we kind of wish that they were, you know, towards the days where maybe they were a bit more like us. You know, they have to price negotiate. You know, they can't just, you know, throw a big, you know, fee at it and just get their player. It would have been nice if they actually missed out on Cucurella as well. But at the same time, Joseph, I do think they overpaid. And I probably agree with you that maybe Spurs fans, you know, would be probably a bit upset, you know, considering that it's only a wingback. Why would you bring in, you know, some 60 million pound wingback? Seems like you're a bit overpaying. But I do really like Cucurella. I think he is a very good player. But Perisic, he's going to get us way more goals, way more assists. He's going to contribute way more in probably the creative department than Cucurella would on that left flank. So absolutely a much better signing for your buck, I would say, Joseph. Legend.
And what I would say is Perisic is world class. The fact that we got him on a free and we could save money doing it, absolutely brilliant piece of business. Why wouldn't you do that? You don't need to go and spend 60, 65 million just to bring in a world class player when his contract was running and we got Perisic in. Much the better player. And if Tesco charged 62 million for a cucumber, there'd be absolutely outrage about it. So, look, I'm absolutely delighted, Joseph, that they got.
I know the cost of living has got big, really ridiculous back home, but 62 million for a cucumber, that's some inflation.
It's inflation, Brian. Inflation, my man. Nothing you can do about it.
Especially a Brighton cucumber of any, you know, a Harry Potter Brighton cucumber, Dave. You know, it's getting mad out. It's getting mad out there. But yeah, Joseph, I agree with you. Definitely overpaid. And Cucurella, as much as I rate him, he wouldn't get us like 6-7 goals and assists, you know, combined, you know, from the Premier League. He's more of like that technically gifted player, but he's not going to be banging in goals like, you know, Perisic will. Good point.
No, he's definitely not. Definitely not. And Jacko, my man, many pundits and journals are predicting Tottenham to be this season's dark horse in the title challenge. Do you think we have what it takes, and can we live up to them expectations placed on us by journals, by pundits, but most importantly, by our fans?
I think we are the definition of a dark horse sort of this season, because usually a dark horse is kind of like a team that probably doesn't really stand a chance, but, you know, you can find good reasons, you know, for why they might be able to overcome, you know, the odds. And I feel like that is sort of us. I can't really look at any other team that will overcome the likes of Liverpool and Man City, because that's what it really takes, is the likes to be able to, you know, leapfrog one of those teams, you know, Liverpool or City. No team has really done it yet in quite some time when you really look at things. So it's going to take some special effort. It's going to take some special manager. It's going to take some special team in order to do that. But Dave, I kind of think we have all three of those things. I think we do have, you know, a team that actually will put in the effort to try to overcome the likes of Liverpool and Man City. I think we have a manager that wants to overcome the likes of Liverpool and Man City. And I think we're building at the moment, we're trying to build a team that could be good enough to take over the likes of Liverpool and Man City. So I feel like we're the definition of a dark horse, and it's kind of fun to be a dark horse going into it, Dave, because you know that you're probably going to achieve something, but you know that there's a ceiling, or a much higher ceiling, you could say, for what you might be able to achieve. So I must say, Dave, I'm kind of liking the dark horse vibes that Spurs kind of have this season. It's kind of fun.
Look, we've always been outsiders, always been the underdogs, and I'll be honest, I wouldn't change it for the world. But
a dark horse, I think, is different from an underdog, because a dark horse is like an underdog that you're a bit more afraid of, you could say. Like a dark horse is something that, can, kind of take you, one that you still have to, be a bit more fearful of. Where in the past, Dave, I don't really know if Spurs were really a dark horse. I would say they were more of an underdog than a dark horse.
Yeah, true. I see what you're saying, but for me, I just think compared to Liverpool and City, we probably are underdogs. And I'll be honest, everyone else across the Premier League are probably laughing at us thinking that we have a shot at the title this season. But again, I wouldn't change it for the world. I absolutely love it. Darren Kilban, big yourself up, my man. Yeah, look, I'm not saying we still don't need players in. I definitely think we need a centre-back, has to be a priority, and then a cam. But look, today is not about that. Today is game day, so we'll put all that aside today, my man. Get behind the boys, and then we can get back to talking about that tomorrow after we beat the Saints. But big up, my man. Absolutely. Never, ever lose that ambition either. Big up, lad. And good to see you in the building as well, Marky boy. Good to see you. Philip, I mean, our expectations are a lot higher now going into this season than they were 12 months ago. And is it a good thing?
Chalk and cheese, really. I mean, last season we had the Harry Kane situation where we didn't know what was happening with him. We had a new manager who, okay, there was a bit of hope that he might be, reasonably good, which unfortunately didn't turn out that way. But now we've got, I was just reading down, even the Sky pundits, even the guys I love to hate so much, a lot of them were tipping Spurs to come third this season.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think the minimum we should be aiming at this season. Okay, Liverpool, Man City are going to be a mountain to climb to get over them. Let's face it, really.
Yeah.
We're probably not quite there yet. But I think if we got third this season and a trophy, that would be a very good season for Spurs. If we got 2 trophies, all the better. I have a sneaking feeling the FA Cup is ours this season. I don't know what it is. I've had that all the time. It'll be 32 years since our last win, which is ridiculous, really, for a team that was the leading winner of the FA Cup up to 1991. Until we're overcome by another certain football team down the road.
Yeah.
Third and a trophy, possibly 2 trophies. I think I'm going to have my little rant here about one Sky pundit in particular, Jamie Carragher.
I thought you were going to say Redknapp, who I would have joined you with.
Well, anyway, Carragher I'll pick out this time. Carragher decided to come out with a completely no backup, nothing to back it up, or nothing to even give a justification why he said it. That Conte will not be at Spurs next summer. Now is that coming from a Liverpool fan who's worried that there might actually be another team coming up to challenge his beloved Reds? Because but the annoying thing for me last season and all the Sky commentary, he's supposed to be impartial, right? He's doing the second commentary on the Liverpool game. Mo Salah scored. You can hear roaring in the background.
Mo Salah, you little dancer.
Yeah.
One of the weirdest lines I've ever heard in commentary.
Like even Alan Smith doesn't do that when Arsenal score. So let's have a bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Impartiality, please. And let's have a little less of the running down Spurs because we don't deserve it, and we're going to get the respect we deserve this season. I hope.
You must have been finding yourself wiping your glasses and cleaning out your ears, though, Philip, to see Spurs being put in third. Because I think in the beginning you said you were agreeing with the Sky pundit, so you must have been wiping your glasses or making sure you were seeing correctly there.
Well, let's just say I was surprised to see so many of them going for Spurs to finish third.
Even have them at the table.
Me, But we'll see.
I have to say, listening to a Philip rant on pundits makes my day. It really does. Big up, Philip. Absolutely love that. And look, ambitions are a lot higher this season, and it's good because it means the club are starting to go in the right direction, which is absolutely brilliant. Dunkle's Torque. Absolutely love the name. Honestly, it baffles me where some people come up with these names on the internet, but I absolutely love it.
Dunkel, maybe
Welcome.
Dunkel Z
Dunkel.
Torque. I like it.
Yeah, Jack, you're from Germany. Or
Yeah,
you're
maybe
not
it's
from Germany,
Dunkel.
but you spent time in Germany, so you probably know. Dunkel.
Big up
We're
Dunkel.
just going to call you Dunkel from now on. It sounds good, sounds German, so we'll go with it. But big yourself up, and we will see you Monday and Friday.
And Michael Anderson, Dave, celebrating 2 months as well as a Black Hat member. Big yourself up, Michael Anderson.
Big up, Michael. Great to have you on board, my man. Big yourself up, Michael. And Dunkel fan shows every Monday and Friday. Hopefully we'll see you on there. And big up, Old Soul as well. Great to see you in the building, my man. Great to see you. And Peter M. and the Tottenham one as well. Big yourselves up. Big yourselves up. Exciting. Eagle. We won 10 out of our last 14 games last season to jump ahead of Arsenal to secure Champions League football. As we all know now, they'll be playing on Thursday night.
I didn't hear that. Could you just repeat that again, David? Could you repeat that first sentence again?
We won 10 out of our last 14 games last season to jump ahead of Arsenal to secure Champions League football. As we know, they will be playing on Thursday nights. But Daigle, can we pick up where we left off from last season and bring that form into this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think, first of all, I just want to say with Philip's rant, you know how refreshing it is to be on shows and it's not me ranting. It is so refreshing to just sit back here, twiddle my thumbs and just let the people rant. And I can see what people saw when I came on. Listen, the way I look at it, going into last season or those games, that front three was electric. That front three, there is nothing. And now that Mane's gone, for me, that is the most feared front three in the league, hands down. Núñez may kick on with Liverpool, and they may be very, very potent again. But you look what they did when Kulusevski came in. That front three is electric. The defense, if we can get the defense or get a defender in, or even if they can act, you got to remember we ended last season with 3 clean sheets as well, and now they've got a Conte pre-season behind them. Whether Longlay's a little bit behind in Basuma because of COVID and whatever. I've never seen the team look so fit. When you look at those people like the Harry Kane when they're running and you see the muscles on them and Dyer, I'm talking they're fitter than peak Poch. That's how fit they are. And they have now got literally 7 months with Conte under him. They know what he demands. They know what he wants. Mate, I mean, I'm going to give my obviously prediction at the end, but I honestly think this game and the season going forward, we're just going to blow a few teams away. We are literally, because of the fitness, and you've heard it in Conte's press conferences where he's been saying with the World Cup, I need to rest players, and obviously I'm not even thinking of the World Cup because the games are coming so thick and fast. And we've got to remember, he's going to be rotating. He's got the squad to rotate now. He's got 5 subs. He needs to keep this team fit. He needs to keep this team fit and going round and keeping everyone happy and whatever. I think literally this team is going to, we're talking about dark horses. I still think we're going to get third, but I think this team is capable of doing some wonderful things, and carrying on from last season is certainly one of them.
Yeah. 100%. I couldn't agree more. And the fact that Antonio Conte has his famous preseason that he loves as well, I am expecting big things from this team this season. Jack, I'll come back to you in just a minute, my man. But Philip, how important is it today that we send out a signal of intent and beat Southampton, but beat them well?
Yeah, I've been saying this all through the close season. We need to make the stadium a total fortress this season. Yeah. We want to have players coming into that dressing room before a match not shaking with fear, but with fear in their eyes, knowing what they're about to hit, what's about to hit them. I mean, too many teams have come to Spurs. I'll go back to the old famous Alex Ferguson, lads, it's Tottenham. That should be consigned to the dustbin of history from now on. Spurs are no soft touch anymore. We've got physical presence in the team now. We've got shithousery right through the team, which we're going to need. Yeah, and we are going to make the stadium a fortress, and we're going to have teams glad to get on the coach afterwards to get home, to get away from that atmosphere. Because look what happened to Arsenal in the third last game of last season. The crowd were the 12th man in that game. The crowd were worth at least one of those goals because they scared the living daylights out of the Arsenal players with the reaction and the passion they showed. And I want to see that from the first minute today, the crowd to get behind the team and don't let up. Even if things aren't going well in a game, which sometimes they don't, no quietness. I want the fans at the team the whole time, drive them on, and the players will react to that. And if we've got a great atmosphere in that stadium, which we should have, because that's what the South Stand was built for this atmosphere, we should be it should be worth nearly half a goal to us every game.
Well, what you've got to remember as well, Philip, is that what is going to make that South Stand and help it a lot is this season it starts from safe standing. So that safe standing bit down at the lower is going to be absolutely pumping. And that's what we've been needing, because that South Stand, as you know, David, when we were there for the games, and Jack, you were there for a game. Philip, I don't know, did you sit in the South Stand when you went, or were you in a different stand?
I was in the South Stand once, but not. I was in it for the Norwich game, but not for the other ones.
Okay, but you'd all know that obviously that stand is meant to be that wall of noise, but it's kind of pockets there and there, and if you really need to rally the troops, it's hard to get it going. But that safe standing, and obviously now Conte in Champions League, that South Stand this season will be what it was meant to be, and that is just going to be that's going to win us points alone.
A wall of noise.
I also look. I'm one of them fans. I actually believe it should be like that every home game. It doesn't matter the opponent. It doesn't matter if you have Morecambe coming from League One, to play in a League Cup game, or whether it's Arsenal. I believe you should always be making noise in that South Stand. But I do believe firmly, with the expectations put on the team and the players this year, and the expectation fans have, I think you'll also see a massive improvement in the noise, in the fans singing, in the stadium. And like you said, Brian, with the safe standing as well, when people are up, standing up, they're more than likely going to sing than what they are sitting down. So be very, very interesting. Hopefully today, Darren DMT, I know you're going, the regular, who was the other one? On your bike, Scott. Hopefully you can help create a wonderful atmosphere today.
I just want to open Tom Hiller's question as well. Tom, the best thing to do, which is what most of them do, is get one of those parking apps where people give their driveways away, or they have their car parking space outside their house, and they sell you their space for £12 or whatever. Different places will show you different prices. I can't, obviously I'm not back home, so I can't remember what the apps are. But I think it's Park Share or something like Car Park Share or something like that. Then you just put in the address of Tottenham Hotspur, and they'll show you the available slots, and you can pay for it there. And then the people that live in those residences will, if it's not a driveway, it's on the road, they'll give you their badge to say you're good to park here. So that's the best place to do it.
There you are, Tom. There you are, my man. Big up. There you go. Look, I think I might have to snap up a house near around if I can charge parking twice a week. That'd be absolutely unbelievable. I need to put investment into some houses around.
Yeah, you can charge the same as your cucumber, 62.5 million.
62 million for the year, lad.
You can buy yourself a cucumber.
Mine's a bargain. Everybody, I hope you are enjoying this. We are going to start cracking into maybe a bit about the team and tactics and stuff like that. If you are enjoying it so far, smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button, guys, and feel free to get your super chats in with your opinions and thoughts, and we will get to them and have a good discussion. Jack, look, just quickly, I'm going to start this off by I am going to give this defense a break today going into the game, but if they cost me a result today, they better be ready. And every other fan better be ready out there. I don't want to hear people saying to me, lay off Iron Sanchez or whoever. It's not going to happen if they don't perform well today. It's simple as. I'm just warning people now. Jack, and as you can see, the defense does get me riled up. But Jack, we have not kept the clean sheet all pre-season, and many have put it down to being just pre-season. Do you think we will actually see a dramatic improvement in defense today, considering it's the first game in the Premier League?
Will probably be Sanchez spared at left-sided center back, so that could be a huge bonus, Dave. And you could probably argue that a lot of the goals that were sort of conceded were a combination of some sort of Sanchez mistake, then compounded by an Eric Dyer or Moon Boots kind of mistake. And Moon Boots and Sanchez, Dave, they kind of go together quite well when it comes to kind of compounding off of each other's mistakes. And so now that Sanchez is probably not going to be in this game, and it is likely going to be Longley or Ben Davies, I actually expect then there to be probably fewer mistakes from Eric Dyer. I expect there to be maybe a bit more of that kind of calm sort of solidity that Ben Davies offers. I think I even said in that predicted lineup we did, Dave, that Ben Davies, he almost just gets the job done in sort of kind of a boring, non-flashy, sort of kind of fashion. He seems to be that guy that, just put his head down, give you that 7 out of 10, and you don't really notice that, he really had any issues or anything on the pitch. So if Ben Davies comes into this game, Dave, I'm pretty sure you'll see a huge improvement in the defense this game. I think you'll be Sanchez spared. I think it just had to do with Sanchez and Dyer. I think when they play together, they really do kind of compound off of each other's mistakes, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's like Dumb and Dumber, if I'm being honest. Look, for me, I'm glad Sanchez won't be playing. And look, I hope Dyer can prove me wrong this season and go on and back up last season, but be 10 times even better, because I still think, even though he had a decent season by Dyer standards last season, he's still average. He still wouldn't get into Liverpool or City's team. Yeah. Chelsea's been looking out for centre-halves. It's not like their first priority was coming to get Dyer or Sanchez. They're just not good enough at the end there. But I do hope Dyer proves me wrong. Val Taylor says, good afternoon. I'm looking forward to a new successful season. What worries me is that we still have 3 or 4 players who bugger games up that we should have won last season. Example versus Southampton. Look, I agree, but what I will say is I think the players that we've brought in, although you might only see 1, maybe 2 of them play today, I do think with Conte having the preseason and everything else with this squad and with the players he's had, because we have to remember last season, he was trying to get them up to his fitness levels, plus try to manage a campaign. It's a very, very difficult thing to do. And I think this season, I just think we'll be better, Val, but I definitely hear your concerns. Stuart Austin says all this big talk, yet we still got Sessegnon, Doherty, Emerson, Reggie, Winks, Davies, Dyer, Ndombele, and Giovanni Sessa at Tottenham Hotspur. Why aren't we sold these fools and brought in Hakimi? What I will say to you, my man, is look, it's not Football Manager. You can't get rid of 20 and bring in 20 and go on and have a successful season. At the end of the day, it was like, look, I didn't expect a big summer. I'll be honest, I'm happy with the summer transfer window we've had so far. Will I be annoyed if we don't get the extra 1 or 2 players I think we need this season? I probably would be, but I'm not going to throw my toys out the pram about. And at the end of the day, I've said this about Ndombele, Giovanni Lo Celso, Winks. People are slapping 20, 30 million price tags on these guys. I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, we're not selling these. We're just not selling them. At the end of the day, there's barely any interest. So, and I knew it would take us a long time to offload them, because teams are not going to shell out what we want for them. They're going to sit there and wait for a bargain, and hopefully we panic at the end of the window and give them to them for half price. That's exactly what these teams are doing. And look, as for Hakimi, I think I speak for us all. I think we'd love Hakimi. But can Spurs go out and blow 100, 120 million of their budget on one player? Because then we wouldn't be able to do half the other business that we've already done this summer. So, I mean, look, what I will say is I get people who still have their frustrations about the window, but it was never going to be a one-window fix. We're all going to be left coming out of this summer. We want this. We needed that. It was that much to do, my man. If we're being honest, we probably needed about 15 players in here if we wanted to completely overhaul the squad. But doing that in one window, it affects your team, it affects your dressing room, and ultimately it affects your performance in the league. So we had to do it the way we're doing it. But I do get you, Stevie. I do get you. Philip, I mean, do you think we'll see a dramatic improvements in this back line today? I know, I mean, you have a bit of back and forth all pre-season about this back line. Healthy as well, which it is. But, do you think the boys will step up today and become a much improved back line? Because we haven't kept one pre-season.
Yeah, I know. Pre-season is pre-season. You're trying things out that you mightn't necessarily try in competitive matches. So, okay, it's unfortunate not to keep a clean sheet, but I wouldn't be absolutely, losing any sleep over it just yet. Now, if we don't keep a clean sheet today, I might start losing sleep over it. But I think it depends on the pick. I mean, it depends who he plays. Like, I mean, we think it looks at Royale. Emerson Royale will probably be right back today. Right? Then you got the 3 centre backs. Does he keep Dyer and Sanchez and bring in Romero, keep the new boys out? Or does he bring in Longley? And how fit is Ben Davies? So there's a number of permutations you can go for here. Personally, I would love to see Romero and Longley playing today. Whether that happens or not, who knows? And then the what do you call it? It looks to me as if hopefully Perisic starts as the wing back. Although I did see Sessegnon's name seems to be cropping up quite a lot as possibly he'll get the job. So it's like I can possibly only see 1, possibly 2 of the new signings starting today, which is
I think it has to do a lot to do with injuries.
Yeah, well, Richarlison can't play anyway. Basuma, we're not sure how fit he is. Jed Spence, I don't think he's going to be there just yet for a while. So that leaves just really Longley and Perisic, really, Foster will be on the bench. So, yeah, I'm hoping that there will be, I'm expecting Southampton to sit back a bit. I don't think they're going to come at us. I mean, they're not going to be foolish enough to come at us from early doors and we'll pick them off on the break. So I expect a bit of a cat and mouse game for the start. So our defense might not be that tested. But when it is tested, let's hope that Conte have enough time with them to, iron out the bugs. And also, I know this free kick specialist that they brought in, or set piece specialist, is more of an offensive teacher. But let's hope he knows enough about organising things for defence, because we don't want to give away too many corners. We certainly cannot give away free kicks within 20 yards of the goal with Ward-Prowse on Tuesday.
I'd say 35 yards, Phil.
Well, possibly, you know what I mean, like within shooting distance. So, how the close season has gone training wise and getting the ideas across wise will become very evident very, very quickly this afternoon come 3:00.
100%. And look, I just hope that they can conform a cohesive backline and start the season as they mean to go on. Vag Maniac, we will be doing a watch along, my man, kicking off at 2:30 today. Do not worry about that. Big yourself up. And Aussie Spur TV. Look, what I'd say is I wouldn't apologize, to be honest with you, at the end of the day. Apologize for absolutely nothing and to nobody at the end of the day. Do what you need to do and make as much noise as you need to. What I will warn you is it probably might get your internet cable cut, just like it did mine, my man. But make sure you make as much noise as you want. And I'll be doing it again today. If that fucking downstairs thinks I'm going to be any more quiet than usual. In fact, I'm going to ramp it up tenfold. The decibel levels today are going to go from a 7 to a 10. People think I was loud at 7. Wait till you see me at a 10. And I know I'm sick today, but that makes me even more cranky, which means I'm going to be even more determined. In fact, I might actually play a little game. How far can I take it before he cuts my wire again? Who knows? But Diego.
Yes, sir.
Do you think... look, as we know, we know Romero and Dyer will start. Yep. Who do you think should partner them at left centre-back? Davies, who has been injured a lot this pre-season and was left out of the Roma game, was he being held back for today? Or Langley, who, in my opinion, and I think is a lot more calmer on the ball and progressive on the ball. So who do you think to start, Langley or Davies?
So first of all, I've given myself this delusional notion that Antonio Conte said, yeah, do you know what? At crap during pre-season, so we lure everyone into a full sense of security. And then at the start of the season, we just close the gates and that's it. You just show them the beast that you are. But that's me going cloud cuckoo, because that's not going to happen. Listen, I've spoken with Jack and I've spoken with you about I've tried to back Sanchez up and thinks that when he comes in for a few games, not at left centre back, he does well for a brief period, but then he declines. I'm really torn. When you ask me the question between Davis and Longley,
yeah,
I think Davis was exceptional last season for what he had to do and the way he did it. Especially Dyer was out, Romero was out. He was constantly there and played a hell of a lot of games. And near the end of the season, once Romero was out, some of the blocks and tackles, he took the responsibility when Romero or Dyer, and I'm very, very impressed. And I'm one of those that if a new player comes in, unless he's elite, it's the guy's shirt that ended it last season, and you've got to win it off of him, kind of thing. If he makes a mistake or you've trained better, he has earned the right. But do you know what? We've only seen brief periods along there. I mean, I did the watch along with Jack for Rangers, and that ball that he passed to Richarlison, that passing, that vision, and especially if they're doing low block, this could be a key to getting out and breaking it. So, it's so hard for me, but I think this game may be too soon for Longley. I think if this game was a couple of weeks in, we may be talking, Longley is really, really, he might be up there. But I think he will start Davies. But you know what? As long as it ain't Sanchez, I'm going to be happy. Davies or Longley. And again, you've got to remember, with 5 subs, I think Longley coming off the bench, if it is a low block, and we can see how Southampton are playing, bringing him on when they're tiring could have more of an advantage of having him on and then bringing Davies on. So I think I would start with Davies because I think it's too soon. But Longley coming off the bench, if it is hard to break him down, his range of passing could open up.
Do you know what? I don't disagree with you. I think Davies had a phenomenal season last season. But for me, I would actually start Longley. And let me tell you why. It's because we struggled against teams like this last season. And at the end of the day, Dyer and Davies passing out from the back was not good enough. It was nowhere near good enough to get us out from the back. And against Roma, you seen what we done for the first 45 minutes. Pass it from left to right. We could not progress the ball. Langley comes in. All of a sudden, he's like, okay, we won't pass it. I'll run it. And for me, at the end of the day, this is what this team needs. We can sit here and moan about the creativity all we want. And I agree. I think it would be nice to get more creativity in here. Who doesn't want more goals? But we've got Kane and Son, the last 2 Golden Boot winners, in our team. Scoring goals is not a problem at Tottenham. Yeah. Keeping them out is. And also playing out from the back at times has been a major problem, where we cannot get the ball out from defence because we're passing it left to right. So for me, I would start Langley today and start as you mean to go on and just put it out there.
I'll tell you what, let me ask you that another way. Let me ask you that another way around, David. If one of them, let's just say Conte had one of them started Southampton and the other one started Chelsea, who would you rather? If you had it that way, whoever starts today won't be starting Chelsea. Who are you picking for today?
I'll be honest, I'm not worried about Chelsea. I'll start Langley for both games because, look, Teeny Weeny, the German hot dog, he's not fucking scoring. You know what I mean? He's just not scoring. So, I mean, the guy, honestly, Thomas the Tank Engine wouldn't hit a barn door. So, for me, I'm not worried about it. For me, put Langley in there. I get Ben Davies is a very, very, he's culpable at the back. He's a good defender. But we need someone better on the ball because also against Chelsea last season, we could not play out from the back. We could not retain possession because our defence was poor.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So I would actually just go with Langley at the end of the day. I'll be honest with you, Diego. Just put Langley in there.
I think I know where you've posted your mask. I can see that right now. I think you might just be in the Langley camp.
Look, absolute long lay, la 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 la
long lay. Come on,
love it. Absolutely love it. You guys are making me feel better. You guys out there are making me feel better. Come on, you Spurs. Jacko. Dark Sun G says, did you see Sky Sports best 11 for transfers for sport for 4 spots or Spurs? It shows how great of a window we had. The Don shows his class. Basuma, Richarlison, Spence, and Perisic. I'm just going to refill my water bottle, Jacko.
No worries. Dark Sun G, I've kind of said this a lot on, the second channel, Flat Cap, where a lot of, people who maybe aren't Spurs fans seem to rate Spurs' transfer window really high. In fact, they've kind of have, in most, kind of circles, at least from what I've seen, that, kind of talk about transfers, talk about which ones are the best transfers. Most times I've seen it, Spurs are either one of the winners of the transfer window or the sole winner of the transfer window. Seems like nobody that isn't a Spurs fan has had a bad thing to say about our transfer window or has had a bad thing to say about our signings. And to see even Fraud Sports, show a bit of love, for our transfers as well is a huge surprise. And Philip, again, this is kind of making me want to, wipe my glasses or make sure that I'm seeing this correctly. Because Sky Sports putting 4 spots for Spurs out of the total 11, 4 of them. That's nearly half.
Yeah, I'm quite amazed by that, actually. I really am. I would have thought that they would have been looking more at given that the tendency towards Arsenal pundits on their payroll, they would have been putting a few Arsenal players in there. No Arsenal have paid big money, but have they bought the right players?
Yeah.
So yeah, it is quite surprising. And they're right for once. They've got it dead right. They are 4 of the best signings that we've made this, or any team has made this close season, And let's hope that by the end of August, there's a couple more to add to it, which will even make it more, maybe 6 out of 11. We'll displace the other 2 by getting a good central defender and a cam. So let's hope that we haven't finished with Sky Sports yet.
And one more thing too, Dark Sundry. One more thing too is that Spurs fans, I think we've had such a good window so far. We've had such a good window so far that Spurs fans can't even really exactly agree unanimously on which one has been the best signing. A lot of people are in the Perisic camp, which they should be. A lot of people are in the Basuma camp, which is totally fine as well. Like, it just shows how good the window has been, that there's no obvious signing that's clearly the best signing. A lot of people have made the case that, Perisic is the best signing. A lot of people make the case Basuma is. So it just shows again how good the transfer window is, Dark Century.
Yeah. Big up, Dark Zone G, brother. Really, really appreciate the support, my man. Top man. I know you're excited. And look, I think we've had a very, very good start to the window, and hopefully we can finish it off with the cream on top. That'd be absolutely lovely. And Faz Radfar says, against Saints, avoid set pieces and stop crosses into the box. Look, my biggest fear, Faz Radfar, my man. I mean, look, I didn't see much improvement from defending set pieces across pre-season whatsoever. The first thing Sevilla done to get a shot on our target was a free kick into the box, one header. Same as K-League 11. They clearly target putting balls into the box we struggle to deal with. And against Roma, we conceded a corner, didn't we? And again, to back up my point about our defence, we control that 45 minutes in terms of possession, 60% possession, and still going 1-0 down because we made a mistake. So, look, I agree. And with James Ward-Prowse on them, it's even more dangerous. It's 10 times more dangerous. His deliveries are usually consistent and spot on. So, we can't afford to give away any sloppy corners or free kicks, my man. Absolutely great point, Faz Radfar. Big yourself up and enjoy the game today because I know you are going as well, my man. Absolute legend. Who did I go?
Just remember, I've got to go in 8 minutes.
What? No worries. We'll go to you now, so, and then we'll let you plug your channel and we'll let you go, Daigle.
Oh, thank you so much.
With Perisic likely to be on the bench because he's still recovering from his injury, that means Session will start on the left. But who do you want to see start on the right today? Now, I didn't include Spence because I don't think we'll see him today. I think it'll take time for him to bed in. But Doherty or Emerson, and why? Because both were crap pre-season. But I will caveat this by saying I was speaking to someone who was at the airport this morning in Ireland, and he was speaking to Stephen Kenny, the Irish manager, and he told him that he doesn't think Doherty will start today. But who would you prefer to see start today?
Do you know what? This question, obviously, this is, I think, out of all positions, this is the one that's obviously grabbing because we know how important this role is. And, of course, David, the famous quote that I use from you all the time, we've been needing this since Walker. So this is why there's so much spotlight on this position. Now, I think it's going to be Royale today. And the reason that I say Royale is I know he favours Doherty, and we saw that because of what he was contributing with the goal. Whether he was only did it for 6 games or not, what we were seeing was progression and him understanding that role a lot more, getting in there, couple of assists, couple of goals, but he's not fully fit yet. He's had a couple of pre-season games, but the one thing you can say, whether we love him, hate him, want him out the club, think this season could be a good season, right now, Emerson is our fittest.
Yep.
Right wing back. He is our fittest, and we all know how much fitness is demanded and stamina and just lasting. It's vital to what Conte does. So I think if Doherty and I can never say, let me go Matt. I can never say his goddamn name right, and especially when I'm on the IrishHotspur channel, let's call him Matt. So if Matt and Emerson, and Phil's here. How bad of me? So I think if they were at the same level, then I think Matt I almost said his name. Matt would start. But seeing that Matt isn't there, I think Emerson Royale, and it could be, like I was saying with Davies, and then bringing Longley on from the bench, and then that might open the game up. That could have the same impact on the right wing back. If Matt Doherty needs to get scrub that name out of my mouth. If Matt needs to get some minutes, or we need to get forward, he could be the one to come on. I'm not going to say and change the game, but he would open the game up, wouldn't he? Because he would be that threat going down there. So I think it will be Emerson Royale to start. But like I said, if I think they were both at the same level, it will be Matt. Matt.
I agree. I think the fact that he's been injured a lot of pre-season and he's coming back off his long-term injury from last season, I think probably puts Emerson in the starting line. But there you go. I mean, my man, where can people find you, brother?
They can find me on. So, I mean, first of all, we started a brand new Friday night show for the people on the west coast of America and around here, and for people that literally can't get on, that have to watch Good Morning We Are Tottenham TV and all those updates and everything. They never get to watch it live because they're either asleep, they're at work. So we went to Ben and Brian, Ben and Simeon and Brian and I. What's going on with names? So we've decided that we're going to do a Friday night show to try and give them a Good Morning Tottenham experience where we have fan phone-ins and everything. So we did that yesterday. But the home of me is obviously Tottenham on Tour. I did it right, David. Normally I say We Are Tottenham TV, don't I? And you have to correct me. Right. You can find me, Brian Ireland and Danny at Tottenham on Tour. Yep. We got we're starting match day content today. Danny's going to be there. Ryan Isaacs, Kennard, Ben, the coffee guy, is going to be working with us. There's obviously the straight out of Conte. There's the everywhere you goes that we'll be doing LA and Toronto Spurs this week. There is a lot of stuff, and you would have seen from yesterday, Brian Ireland finally moved into his studio.
Yeah.
And we've actually got 2 studios. So that's his music one. The next door one is going to be Tottenham on Tour HQ, which I am naming Divine Heart Lane because of my love for Alfie. And we're just in the process of decorating it, and it's going to look absolutely incredible. So you can find me on We Are Tottenham TV. The home of me is Tottenham on Tour. But what I can't wait, David, is next week when we do the pump up, because I can't do today, obviously, because of the.
Yeah.
I will be doing it, but I will be doing it live from the Scotland Yard in the library where we speak. So I'm getting there extra early.
I love that.
So when I'm with you for the pump up, it will be from the Scotland Yard. And if I can, when people come in like Bobby Kay or anyone, I'll try and grab people to come and have a quick hello. So there'll be a lot of people from the world famous Scotland Yard. But listen, everyone, wherever you are in the world, thank you for the support of all these channels and mine and me. But listen, opening day of the season, we've got Conte. I've told you, Tottenham 4-0. We are going to smash the living daylights out of them. And Spurs will be marching on to glory. Love you all. Back the process. What have I become, a gooner? Back Conte. Love you all. Peace out.
Catch you, Brian.
Big up. Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely love that. Everybody, the link is here. Get over, check out Tottenham on Tour and smash that subscribe button. Absolute big up there. You love having them on. Absolutely love it. Philip, is Ollie Skips simply getting really unlucky with injuries, or are you starting to become a little worried he could be injury prone?
No, I think he's just very unlucky. I mean, this injury has nothing to do with the one that kept him out last season. The fact that I heard a report or rumor, I don't know if it's true or not, that it was a tackle by Emerson Royale that caused this hairline fracture of his heel. So that's nothing to do with what he had before. He's just unlucky. I mean, the lad has just got back to fitness and now this, so I feel sorry for him. I mean, the hairline fracture is going to keep him out for a number of weeks, as far as I know. So, we probably won't see him until maybe the back end of September, which we'll probably need him then because the Champions League will be starting in earnest at that stage. So, no, I don't think there's anything, sinister about it. It's just unlucky. Some players are like that, Some players go the whole career with an injury. Some just get one fixed up and suddenly they have another one straight away, which is what happened to Ollie. So, no, he'll be back. He'll be back.
I hope so. I'll be honest. I'm starting to come slightly concerned. He's just been unlucky. Hopefully, this is the last setback this season and he can push on and stay injury free just for himself, because you look at the people he's up against now, Basuma, Bentancur, Højbjerg, experienced being around the block professionals. And he needs to stay injury-free, to push on and keep pace with these guys. And hopefully it can happen. But, Jack, I want to move on to another midfielder who probably will start, who was more than likely going to start today. And I know you're a big fan. Even your fantasy football team name is Højbjerg's Shoulders, which I absolutely had a good chuckle at yesterday. But, Jack, Højbjerg has been awful pre-season. But with Basuma carrying a knock and only fit enough to make the bench, what does Højbjerg have to do to get back to the player he was last season, where he completed more passes, won more tackles, made more blocks or interceptions than any other Spurs player? What does he have to do to nail down a place in this competitive midfield now this season?
He has to remind Spurs fans of that form that he had towards the tail end of the season. Like towards the tail end of the season, Dave, you could probably argue that Højbjerg was maybe the most consistent player, or at least the most 7 out of 10, player in like the last 5 or 6 games. Even when we were playing quite poor against teams like, I don't even know if we played poor against Man United, but I think we look at that one even, Dave, as a good example of like Højbjerg played exceptional in that game, despite us losing actually, 3-2 at the end of the day, despite us, maybe not getting all 3 points. Højbjerg was exceptional that game. And I think what made him exceptional, Dave, is that he was proving that he's more than just a ball winner, because when Højbjerg is probably at his worst, he's kind of just a ball winner. He's just going to, get, kind of stuck in the midfield, but he'll just play maybe a sideways pass afterwards. What he was doing towards the tail end of the season was he was winning the ball, but then he was playing a very direct or very progressive pass right afterwards, to either thread through Harry Kane, to maybe play in Kulusevski, find Sonny with a switch of play. It just felt like, Højbjerg, he was showing that he does have that passing range. He does have that creativity, and he is able to break the lines of the midfield, the opposition midfield, with a nice pass. And he even showed, he had some good ball carrying skills towards the end of the season last season too. So I think it's all those things, Dave, that Højbjerg, when he's probably playing really poor, he really does just look like your basic average, kind of defensive ball winning midfielder. When he's playing exceptional, he shows that he's a whole lot more than that. I believe he's a whole lot more than that, but there are games when, he does disappoint and he doesn't, break the lines and he doesn't carry the ball with confidence and he does make mistakes. But I do hope, Dave, that he does remind people that towards the tail end of last season, I thought he was easily better than Bentancur, even though we know Bentancur is a better player than Højbjerg. Højbjerg was putting in better performances than Bentancur towards the end of the season. I just hope that he reminds people of that.
I hope so. And Philip, what do you think he's been missing to his game preseason that he had last season? Because preseason, and look, I get it's only preseason, but he has looked a shadow of, like what Jack was saying, probably our most consistent midfielder, especially towards the back end of the campaign.
Yeah, slightly worrying this, because you think now with the arrival of Bissouma, he would have thought, well, maybe my position is under threat here. And so I'll have to, put in the extra yards to make sure that I don't, that I catch the boss's eye in the right way, not by misplacing passes. Like I noticed in the preseason, he gave the ball away a lot, misplaced passes, and on a couple of occasions put us under severe pressure by for the part of the pitch where he gave away the ball. So I'm hoping again it's preseason, I think the proof of the pudding is going to be today now, what he actually does on the pitch today.
Yeah.
And I have to say, though, I like Højbjerg's position better, the one that he plays for Denmark, which is slightly more further forward. To me, that's a more effective position. Now, whether that fits into Conte's plan, I don't think so, because of the wing-backs. But I do like him when he comes a little bit, like he's got a shot on him as well.
You've seen more of him. You've seen more of him in that position. You've seen
more of him in that position, But I think, I'm hoping that it's just let's just say, form, class is permanent, form is temporary. Is that the way they say it? Am I saying that right?
Absolutely.
He is a very good player, and I expect to see that he will improve his form as the season goes on and as things bed in. So, bit concerned about him, but I'm hoping that a good couple of performances at the start of the season, good performances, will give him the confidence to push on, and we'll not be having this discussion about him anymore. And he'd be delighted.
I hope so. I really do hope so. And look, for me, everyone knows I'm a big, massive fan of Højbjerg, and I hope he's had a long couple of campaigns for us, playing nearly every game for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah,
not an excuse for him though. And look, it just what it does do though is it shows how important he actually is to this team, and we need Højbjerg back to his best, and hopefully settling in beside Bentancur today, who's been absolute phenomenal preseason. We can get a good game out of him. I really do hope so. I'm a big believer in the guy. THFC till I die with the massive super sticker, and he's starting as he means to go on, lifting the trophy. Absolutely love that. Starting as he means to go on, setting the expectations for the season.
He's like, look what I found. This is Harris Army. Look what I found. Got ourselves a big trophy here. Absolute legend. This is his prediction, Dave. A trophy at least for the season. I think he's even gone for the cup double. I've even heard Dermot predict before.
I love the ambition. Never change, Dermotron. Never change, Dermotron. Big yourself up, my man. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And guys, keep smashing that like button. Keep smashing that subscribe button. We'll be going for about another 10 minutes or so. So feel free to get your super chats in if you have enjoyed the show. If there's anything you want us to discuss before we leave off. And look, even if you can't afford a super chat and you look, there's other ways you can help support the channel through channel memberships and stuff like that. Everything really, every little helps, really does help this channel push on to try and match mine and Jack's ambitions, which is being the best, just like Tottenham Hotspur. Absolutely love that. Now, Philip, I want to stick with you for a minute, my man, because I want to ask you this question, because my next question is, I want Jack to have a go at. But Philip, if Tottenham wants to make a title challenge, it's important to take 6 points against clubs who sit much further down the table, like our opponents today, Southampton, who finished just 15th last season, landing in the bottom 6 for the 4th time in 5 seasons, by the way. Yet Spurs could only muster 1 point across the 2 fixtures, and we struggled breaking down defensive blocks while showing a lack of intensity against lower teams. Do you think we'll see a much improved Tottenham today in that sort of regard, in that sort of area?
Yeah, like I mean, look at last season. We lost to Wolves. So okay, Wolves aren't our top half team. We lost to Brighton. We lost to Southampton. And we lost to Burnley. Now they're only 4 matches. There's others, but they're the 4 that stick in my mind. That's 12 points that we dropped last season that we should have won. Where would that put us? Comfortably in 3rd place, a mile ahead of 3rd place.
Yeah.
Even if we won 2 of those games, we'd be 3rd place. You know, so, and I think that's why Conte pre-season is so important to Conte, to drill it into the players. It's okay going to the Manchester City Stadium and beating them. It's okay going to Anfield and getting a point, but we're not really expected to do anything. It's when you go to the likes of Burnley and get turned over, that is what we have to eliminate from the procedure this season. And I'm sure, okay, there's going to be hiccups. We're going to lose matches that we should win. That comes with every team every season. We can't avoid it. But as long as we keep it to a bare minimum, you know, as I keep going back to those 4 games last season cost us, you know, in the season where in November, if you'd have said to me or any Spurs fan, we're going to get the Champions League, you'd be laughing, saying, what? We'd be lucky if we stay out of relegation the way we were playing. So, you know, again, treat every team with respect, okay? But don't give the bottom teams too much respect. I think that's what happened. I think the most ironic, the most Spursy thing that happened last season was we go to Manchester City on the Saturday and we beat them.
Yeah.
And we take Burnley the following Wednesday and get beaten. You know, I mean, that's just that cannot happen again.
So Spursy.
Too Spursy. Now,
and that's another well, I believe.
Be eliminated from the vocabulary this season is Spursy.
Yeah.
You know?
For now.
I want to see that gone. Forgotten about.
I hope so, Philip, because that word drives me absolutely insane when I hear it. Don't get me wrong, I use it sometimes, but I agree. I want to eradicate it from football dictionary, from my dictionary. I don't want to see it anymore. I'm fed up with it. But, Philip, I do want to ask you one more question, but big up, Mr. Game Day Spurs Talk Show. Shawnee, boy, hope you're keeping well, my man. I'm pumped for today's game. Good to see you in the building, son. But, Philip, before I do move back to Jack, look, as we know, we struggle majorly against them teams that sit. Look, the low defensive block, but what they kind of do is just press our middle, block up the middle, and make us kind of go out wide, but then go one-on-one with our wing-backs, knowing that they won't take them on. How do we beat this sort of low blocks, blocking up the midfield system that we so badly struggled against last season? You've been around the game for a long time, so you definitely have the answers, so give them to me.
Well, first of all, I mean, I'll use the Brighton at home game as an example of how not to do it, right? We got the ball with Hugo Lloris. Hugo Lloris who passed it out to Ben Davies, who passed it inside to Eric Dyer, who passed it to Romero, who passed it over to Royale. Then there'd be another couple of passes up to Harry Winks. I counted one time 10 passes that we hadn't got across the halfway line, right? The teams have all day long to set themselves up to stop the ball coming through. We've got to have quicker distribution from the back. And unfortunately, in my opinion, Hugo Lloris is a great goalkeeper, but he's one of the poorest there is with his distribution with his feet.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. If you look at Emerson and Alisson and Emerson, the United and City goalkeepers, City and Liverpool goalkeepers, those guys are like an extra midfielder when they're clearing the ball. They can actually pick a pass from the edge of the penalty area. Hugo Lloris, unfortunately, can't do that. So I'm not blaming the guy, but he's not in his game. So we've got to get the ball, move the ball quicker. And this is where I think Longley is going to come into example here. Longley can pick a pass and break the block, you know? And there's no, apart from that, the midfielders have got to be quicker. Just get the ball and move it on quickly at pace. None of this slow pedestrian walking with the ball, looking to see who's running. Yeah. And the movement up front is going to be very important as well. Now, I can see Harry Kane dropping deep again to pick up the balls from the defence. But it's I'll go back to the old 1951 team. Now, I wasn't around then, thank God. But anyway, that was push and run. That was get the ball, pass it, move. Get the ball, pass it, move. Move beyond the player that's supposed to be blocking you. It's an old-fashioned way of doing it, but it's very, very effective because players do not know where the player is going to move to. So something like that, but speed of thought, speed of movement, and speed of action. That's what we need. And no slow, none of this tippy tapping around the back for 5 minutes before we get the ball across the halfway line.
Yeah, and you know what? Thank God you said that, lad, Philip, because I've been saying this for a long time. People can put it down to having a cam all you want. But what good is it having a cam who plays between the opposition's midfield and back line when you can't even get the ball out from your defense? There's no point, you know. And at the end of the day, I agree with you. It comes down to, look, I've screamed at times last season. Stop passing the ball sideways, back and forth, and letting the team reset, because that's what they want. Or these teams, all they want to do is sit back in shape and set their blankets right in front of us, set their lines right in front of us. And we're way too happy to let them do that. You look at the likes of Liverpool and City, they'll keep trying to move the ball quickly, get it down the sides, over the top, and keep asking questions. We did not do that last season. And for me, I definitely don't think it's an issue of a cam. Don't get me wrong, it'd be nice to have it. But I think with Longley in there, who probably was a lot better on the ball than Davies, I think you'll see us maybe pose a bit more of a threat in these sort of games. Philip, I'm absolutely delighted you just said that, because it makes me feel like I am now not going insane, and that is the major problem. So thank you for that, my man, because I was pulling my hair out about it. Absolutely love that. And look, what I will say is when you were referring to an Ederson or Allison, if the young kid gets his start today, Bazunu and goes for Southampton, we need to watch his distribution as well. We've seen it for Ireland. It's top notch. So be interested to see. Yeah, he is. He's very good. And do you know what my worry is? Like, you look at Travers for Bournemouth when he played against us. Absolutely phenomenal debut. Saved everything. This is the one time I hope Bazunu has a bad game. I'll be honest. I really do. And I really like the kid. I'm a big supporter of the kid. A big fan. Jacko, I want to ask you, my man, then we'll crack on with some super chats and we'll end off with a bit of Kane and Son talk. But Jacko, Southampton fans are expecting a change from the standard 4-4-2 or 4-2-2-2, whatever way you want to put it, to a 3 in the back this season. If Spurs come up against a 3 in the back versus Southampton, do you think we'll struggle?
It's really weird, Dave, because Southampton on both occasions, they did two different formations. You know, that one that we lost, you know, at home, they did that, you know, classic 4-4-2, you know, that kind of, you know, Leipzig, you know, sort of style that Hasenhüttl or, you know, RB or Red Bull style that Hasenhüttl is really familiar with. But as well, Dave, I think that game where Salisu got sent off over at St. Mary's, they actually were doing a 3 in the back that game. So I'm actually thinking that maybe Hasenhüttl, he's probably, you know, switching to a 3 in the back because he might know that his team has a chance of getting relegated this season. So he's probably going for a more kind of defensively, you know, maybe solid sort of system. I think last season, Dave, Southampton, they conceded the 4th most goals in the entire league, which is pretty much, you know, kind of close to relegation sort of numbers if you are conceding the 4th most in the entire league. So it does show that maybe Hasenhüttl, I know he's kind of known for that sort of pressing, you know, kind of striker system. He's known for those hardworking wingers that tuck inside and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like they're going to go for something a bit different this time around, Dave. Maybe they might sit back a bit more. Maybe they might clog up the midfield a lot, which they know is very successful against Spurs. So I have a feeling, just a feeling, Dave, that this could be a cagier match than maybe we want it to be. And that might have to do with, you know, Hasenhüttl going for that back 3, because that back 3 might mean that he might leak fewer goals. And we have probably less of a chance, in my opinion, that we would score 4 or 5, you know, like we all want to.
Yeah, 100%.
And Hasenhüttl, like I said before, Hasenhüttl, I don't know if he has Conte's number, Dave, but you could say, you know, he's gotten the best of Conte on 2 different occasions now. And Southampton, they don't really have a lot of good players to pick from either. So it does show that Hasenhüttl, he's got a decent tactical mind on him to frustrate Spurs in the past. So I have a feeling he might do it again. At the same time, though, Dave, I know Conte, he's probably a very stubborn sort of manager. So when he's seen that Southampton have gotten the best of him twice, I'm pretty sure he knows that he's going to have to change things around.
100%. Kay, give me 1 second and we will get to that, my man. Jack, can you just quickly see if that's no Richard Romano's tweet? But look, do you know what? I think I'm correct in saying Southampton brought in 6 players so far this summer, I believe.
Yeah, like a bunch of players under like 25, 24 as well.
A lot of them are young, and it does look like the cheap David Hasselhoff is that he's ready to kind of he wants to play a pressing system. He's now looking for his team to probably start pressing from the front, So it'd be interesting if that does happen, and because I think it'll play into our hands. And then it's just about knocking the ball around them rather than them sitting back and putting the onus on us. I hope they do press us. I really do. Just give me 1 second. We've a couple of super chats to get to, and then we will touch on a doggy or a doy, whatever way you want to call them. Absolute Bore says 3 points today and fair officiating up the Spurs. I mean, Philip, all we can ask for is the referees to be fair, right?
Well, we've been asking for the last 30 years. It hasn't happened yet. Anyway, hopefully, like a few of the old faces have gone this season. John Moss is gone. Mike Dean is gone, and your man, what do you call him, Martin Atkinson is gone.
Yeah. So
we'll just see what the replacement guys are like. Listen, we just want some fair play, and VAR decisions to be done properly, and not, I'm just looking at Liverpool, the goal disallowed this morning, which is quite, I was waiting for it to be reinstated on VAR, but it wasn't. So maybe things are changing for the better. Good refereeing and fair. All we want is fair refereeing. That's really all we need.
It's all we can ask for, and a few more sirs from Jack every time the referee makes a decision as well. Hopefully, coax him into doing the right thing for Spurs fans. Big up, absolute.
Hopefully,
really
absolute board. That ref we had in Israel was absolutely shocking, and awesome. I just hope that if we do get a shocking ref, absolute bore, at least they have the decency to put the Specsavers advertisement on their shirt sleeve. That would be nice.
That's
Mitrovic has scored for Fulham. Mitrovic just scored for Fulham.
I had to take him out my ultimate football team last night because I was a million over. I was raging out of the fantasy football. But that makes Fulham 1 up, yeah?
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing that's well deserved because they had a couple of great chances in the first 20 minutes. I'm just watching the goal here now. Cross. Oh, yes, beautiful header at the far post. Lovely.
Come on, Mitro.
He got over the top of the Liverpool defender and absolutely bossed him. I'll tell you what reminded me of Harry Kane's goal against City last season, the third one at the far post. Oh, brilliant goal. Brilliant.
Love that. Liverpool, they always sing you'll never walk alone. Looks like they could be walking alone today. That'll be absolutely brilliant. Jack Dark Sun G says bench predictions: Forrester, Perisic, Doherty, Gill, Lucas, White, Sarr, Basuma, Sanchez / Langley or Langley. What a beautiful bench in my prediction. If my prediction comes true, come on, you Spurs.
I think that could be more or less a dead-on, bench there, Dark Sun G. Basuma is most likely going to be on the bench, but he's unlikely to start. Sanchez will be on that bench, as well as Longley. Perisic, I expect to be on the bench too. Hill Messi will be there, as well as Lucas. And then Doherty probably, too. And we also have 5 subs, this season as well, Dark Sun G. Yeah. So we have plenty of, changes to be made if things aren't going well. And we're also missing, a few players as well, Dark Sun G. I don't need to tell you that. Of course, Jed Spence might be missing from that bench. Richarlison, is going to be missing from it. So it does show that, this bench could get even better, Dark Sun G. It could look even better.
Absolutely love that. Look, hopefully Gil Messi might get a few minutes today. A lot of people give out about this guy, but I think he's supremely talented, and we'll wait and see.
Who knows?
Big up, Dark Sun G, brother. Really appreciate the support, and hopefully you'll be joining us for our watch along, kicking off at 2:30, my man. Tim Man 007, it's great to see you in the house, and hopefully you, sir, are very excited for today's game. It says, big up, guys, at the lane, and the atmosphere is building. You lucky son of a gun, my man. I would do anything to be there today. Absolutely live it up, and hopefully you'll be very loud in your voice today. Hat-trick for Kane today. Early goal to set us off. Heard it here first. Come on, you Spurs. I absolutely love that. And Jack, what we'll do is we'll talk a little bit about Harry Kane along with Tim Man Super Chat here. And, Harry Kane, he doesn't have a good record in August. He missed out on the Golden Boot last year to Son. And with the signing of Haaland by City, do you think Harry Kane will actually be eager to prove he is the best and get off to a blistering start this season like Tim Man 007 is predicting, which I love? He's a big Harry Kane fan like me.
I have a feeling, Dave, that the fitness could be maybe the reason for how he could start off, well, this time around. You, as much as, I know you love Harry Kane, Dave, you could make it, a theory that maybe the reason he never started off campaigns too quickly is just because he might not be in the perfect sort of match, kind of fitness or the perfect, sort of match shape. So he's not able to either cover as much ground. He's not in, the same sort of mental space as maybe he would be 5 or 6 games down the road. Whereas I feel like, Dave, maybe right now, Harry Kane is probably in that mindset of a player that's like 5 or 6 games down the road, because I even said to you, it looked like he could start the Premier League right away. Like in his first game, against the K-League 11, it looked like he could have just started, the season, the following weekend. He looked ready right away, where I don't know if you could say that with Kane in the past. I feel like, you do want him to, get his motions in, kind of, get back into shape. But we're looking at a Harry Kane, Dave, that looks a lot stronger, looks a lot fitter, looks a lot more mobile as well, being able to cover a lot more ground. So if Harry Kane is going to start off a campaign well and actually start off, soon and, quickly, this would probably be the one that you would bet him to do it, just because he's in a lot better physical shape this time.
I could not agree more. I absolutely could not agree more. And I think what you said is right about his mentality sort of already being like he's set 5, 6, 7 games in. Absolutely love that. And hopefully you're absolutely spot on. But big up Tim Man 007, and you go and enjoy the game, son. Good man. Have a good day, my man. Big yourself up and do us proud out there, brother. Big yourself up. And we also have Dark Song G, Fulham 1, Liverpool 0. Oh my God, perfect start for us today. Come on, you Spurs. And look, if Fulham can hold out, which I'll be honest, I don't think they will. I'd be surprised if they will. But if they do, I mean, we put 3 points on the board today, already puts us ahead of them. That's half of the battle already done. And hopefully we can continue that, my man. Big up Dark Song G, and commiserations to your old lad, because I know he's a big Liverpool fan. And Jack, maybe you can give us, we will dedicate, of course, we will do something on this separate to what we're doing today, to game day and stuff like that. But Jack, full agreement on personal terms. Actually, you can take I don't even know how to pronounce his name properly. So
yeah, sure. Fabrizio Romano, everybody, just tweeted 17 minutes ago. At least it's telling me that there has been a full agreement on personal terms between Destiny Udogie and his agents, Tottenham. 5-year contract deal expected to be completed next week with Udinese. Paratici and Conte want Udogie as part of their future project, so he could be loaned back, though, to Udinese. Dave, I like this signing. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a very good signing for us because it is sort of, a younger left wing back. He's also kind of fits that Conte bill. I think he's like 6 foot, 6'1". So he's a bit taller, a bit stronger, than your average wing back, which is nice. But I just feel like the timing of it is a bit underwhelming because you've been, asking for a center back. Some people are asking for a creative midfielder. It just feels like the timing of it isn't really the best. And maybe that's how it is. I've said this before, Dave, like sometimes, a player just happens to pop up onto your lap and you're just like, well, we just got to buy this guy because this is the chance that we're going to take. And maybe, you have to put, your center back, priorities, till next week or whatever. I don't know. But it just feels like the timing of it, Dave, for me, as much as it is a good signing, the timing of it, I don't really like because I know we need a center back and I know we need a creative midfielder. But maybe that's just how it is. That's sometimes how business is, where you just end up signing a player that, you probably didn't expect to sign, right away. And you just have to take advantage of it when you can. And hopefully we still do get a center back.
What's your thoughts on this?
It's Papa Sarr all over again, really. We bought him this time last season, lent him straight back to the French team, Yeah, it's okay, this might be a great one for the future, but I think what Spurs fans are waiting for now is an announcement from Spurs that we bought a centre back. That's the priority. Yeah. For now, not for next season or the season after. Whereas this I can see this is, but one thing that does give me confidence, if this is a signing for the future, it looks to me as if Antonio Conte has decided that his future, barring something happening that we don't know about, his future is at Tottenham. He's obviously buying for the future. So from that point of view, it's a good signing. But I'd rather see somebody buying someone now with the number 5 on their back, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Look, for me, I think it's obviously long-term at looking for Perisic's replacement. But I'll be honest with you, I'm nothing against the player. I believe he's very highly rated. I've seen bits and pieces and I like what I see. But my biggest priority all summer long has been centre-back. And I don't understand why we haven't filled that position, but yet we're spending money on a guy who looks like he's going to be loaned out again for the season.
Yeah,
so,
it's underwhelming, Dave, right? You just feel like you like the signing, but you're underwhelmed because you know that there needs to be something else done. You know, so
I can see why they bought him, though. I think there's been a lot of clubs knocking on his agent's door. This guy's very highly sought after, so maybe that's why they've done it now rather than wait till somebody else gets him.
It's look, I have no problem with the signing whatsoever. I think the kid is going to be a future star, but we have to deal with the here and now. It's you can afford to do this sort of stuff when you have more or less an ideal squad or the perfect squad to compete on all fronts. Then you can start doing them things. But I'm just not sure. Look, I get what Jack is saying by, look, if the opportunity arises, sometimes you've just got to take that opportunity to get your man. But I'm just not I just don't agree with it. For me, you've got to go and address that defensive issue before you start doing this. But look, it is what it is. And I encourage all Spurs fans not to put your frustrations with Tottenham not getting a centre-back on this guy. Give this guy a chance. I know he'd probably be loaned out and come back and come here next season, but do not put your frustrations on this kid.
I agree.
That's all I ask. But look, we'll move on. Mile High Hotspur, big yourself up, my man. Leo Kais, I hope you are keeping well. Everybody, this is the guy's channel. He's took the step to set one up. Please get over and support him and smash the subscribe button. It's there as you... Sorry, I'm getting the hiccups. It's there as you see it. Mile High Hotspur. My homie, 6 a.m. here. I couldn't sleep. I am absolutely buzzing. Big up from Denver, Colorado, and Colorado Spurs. Come on, you Spurs. Big up all the Colorado Spurs. And big up, Leo. And best of luck with your channel, my sir. And hopefully it goes all good for you, my man, and you make a success of it, brother. Big yourself up. And
big
look,
up, Leo.
Jack, he's up at 6 a.m. I mean, you were up at 6 a.m. too.
I was too, but Leo, I mean, the fact that you couldn't even sleep, I actually, woke up, kind of blissfully to, a nice little alarm, and, the fact that you couldn't sleep shows that you're a real Spurs fan. You're like Daigle, you're just kind of pacing through the house at 3 a.m., probably doing dishes, maybe vacuuming, just trying to pass the time until, the game comes upon you. Big up, Leo. And I didn't even know you had a channel as well, my man. Please invite me on, invite David on. We would love to be on, brother. Big yourself up. And hopefully, it's probably really sunny where you are, I would say, in Denver. Like you said, you're a mile high, Dave. They're one of the most elevated, sort of cities in the world. So, hopefully that nice, clean mountain air, is giving you something to think about. Mile High Hotspur. Absolute legend. Absolute legend. Big up Colorado as well. Beautiful state.
Big up, my man. I really appreciate the support, brother. And I've seen Denver and Colorado mentioned that much. When I eventually get my ass over to New York, because it's always been a dream of mine, I'll have to take a trip down there as well, my man. Big yourself up, brother.
You would like it. It's the weather you would like too. It's cold. It's sunny all the time, but it's cold. I think it'd be kind of the weather you would like. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, as long as it's cold, I don't mind. As everyone knows, I absolutely hate the heat. So as long as it's cold, that's all I care about. But look, last question into the day, guys. I did want to spend a bit more time on it, but we've had so much to talk about for the first game of the season, which is fantastic.
Natural.
And we won't have that much time because I do have to head over to We Are Tottenham TV, and Jack has to set up the watch along and everything else. So, Jack, Son had his best season in a Spurs shirt last season, scoring 23 goals along the way to winning the Golden Boot. Can Son hit those heights again this season and challenge for the Golden Boot again?
Winning the Golden Boot, Dave, it's not easy. Even Harry Kane, Dave, couldn't do it, the following season. I don't know how many times it's even been done. It's not, something that I'm too aware of, that sort of stat or figure. How many times has someone repeated, the Golden Boot in the Premier League? It's not like La Liga, Dave, or like the Bundesliga, with Lewandowski, who is just winning it year after year. It's a tough competition to, win it, I think, back to back. So if Sonny were to do that, I mean, he's already world class, but I guess he'd just be universal class or galaxy class. I'm not sure, Dave, because I just think repeating a Golden Boot effort would be insane. On top of the fact, Dave, he did it with no penalties as well. So to repeat another Golden Boot effort with no penalties taken, the man would have to be an absolute freak. He kind of is already a freak with how good he is, but I don't know, it would seem insane for him to do that. Maybe that's how incredible of a season that would be for me, Dave, is that it seems insane for someone to repeat that. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. Look, it's a very tall ask, but I like his words pre-season, I have to say, what was coming out. And I tip him again for another run. Can he win it? I'm not sure, but he won it last season, so who knows? But Philip, Sonny, can he reach the heights he did last season? 23 goals along the way to the Golden Boot. Can he take another stint at it again?
I am sure he can, but if he does, he's going to have to score more goals than Harry Kane. I mean, if you look at what Harry Kane did last season, he had the disappointment of the Euro finals, getting beat. He had the Manchester City thing. He literally didn't start playing until November, yet he only finished 6 goals behind. So we've got a Harry Kane now that's going to be fully motivated from the very get-go at the start. So, I'm hoping that they're going to egg each other on. That come the last day of the season, Harry Kane's 1 goal ahead of Son in the Golden Boot. And it'd be nice to have a joint win between 2 Spurs players, wouldn't it?
He can do
it. Certainly he can. I mean, Sonny's in the form of his life at the moment. So let's hope he keeps it up, No,
100%, my man. 100%. Look, I think if Kane and Son can make a tip at it, both together, I think it puts us in the title challenge without a doubt. For sure, it does. So definitely, yeah.
He might even get in Team of the Year next season.
Well, he should. He was absolutely wrong last season. Hopefully. I mean, it was a joke that he wasn't. He doesn't
make it last season. He's never going to make it. It's like, if you don't make it last season, I don't know how he's ever going to make it. That was the most cruel thing to ever be done to a player. I just don't know how much better of a season he could have had, Philip. So we'll see if he makes it this year. We'll see.
No, 100%. 100%. But look, guys, I think we will have to end it there. Me and Jack have to get some more stuff done today on this game day. As you know, the Irish Hotspur across all game days everywhere we can be. But Jack, where can people find you before we end off, my
man? Please, everybody, do check out Flatcap. Haven't been able to post too many videos this week, but I would say a really good conversation. If you like your European football, Darius, as well as Kieran and I, we predicted the top 6 of Europe's top 5 leagues. It was a really fun conversation. If you're into that kind of nerdy European football kind of stuff, I would say definitely check out that stream after the win today. Once you get the win, if you're still, thinking about football and you just want to, keep, and you can't get enough of it, check out Flatcap. Listen to that, conversation Darius and Kieran and I had. My Premier League predictions, I didn't have time to do this week, but I posted them on Twitter as evidence, everybody, so I don't change them last minute. But we are going to be doing also Premier League predictions when the weekend is over with these games. Big up, everybody.
That is my fault, by the way. I've been extremely off. I've had a bad week.
I was going to do it yesterday, Dave. I actually just got a bit lazy. I was going to do it yesterday. I just got a bit lazy and, decided to just, chill out. But everybody is, William Kelly. There we go. Good to see you.
Yeah, William Kelly says, why we are winning the league, boys. Start believing. Look, William, I believe every season, my man. You, me, Philip, Jack, so many others. We're believers. In fact, we're also believers, my man. So no better way to be. Big up William Kelly, and hopefully you can join us for the watch along, my man. Big yourself up, brother. Really appreciate it. And Philip, anything you would like to say to Spurs fans before we end off?
Yeah, this is the start of the season where Spurs become a force again. Trophies are incoming. League position anywhere from 1st to 4th, I'll take. Especially 1st. And keep the faith, get behind the team, and let's hope that we're in a situation this season where we're not slagging off players for bad performances. That we're praising them for good performances, and for what they're doing for the club. And listen, the confidence levels are an all-time high. So let's hope that they deliver on the pitch. Starting 3:00 today, big win over Southampton.
Come on.
Absolutely love that. Come on, you Spurs. But guys, we'll end this pre-match build-up here. Hopefully, all of you have enjoyed it. If there's anything you think we should be talking about that maybe we haven't, let us know in the comments, and we'll make sure we get it done for you guys next week. But look, I want to say a massive thank you to you, the Spurs fans, for tuning in, liking, subscribing, and super chatting. Starting this channel, it really has connected me with Spurs fans around the world, which I am so grateful for. It's something I could only ever imagined when I first started this up. Look, I used to watch all the games on my own, and the fact that I can now enjoy it with so many people is an unbelievable feeling to have. And hopefully this season is our season, which I think it will be, and we can go on and have some success together. So thank you to all you guys out there. And look, we'll see you back here at 2:30 for the start of the watch along, where I think Jack and Philip and that will be kicking it off. I'll be joining in. And then Philip and Nick will also be joining us at halftime and full time as well. So, guys, we'll see you very, very shortly. Come on, you Spurs. In Conte we trust.
Come on, you Spurs. In Conte we trust.
Absolutely.